Autofocus is off. I'm gonna get my husband because I don't know how to work this thing. What is up, my dudes and dudettes? Amber coming at you from my very dark studio. Hang on. As I was saying, welcome here. It is currently very snowy, hence why I have snow on my TV in the background to give a little ambiance, a little bit of pizzazz, if you will. But that's not what this video is actually about. This video is about me getting my life back together. But before we get started in today's video, I first want to thank our sponsor, House of Joppa. More on them a little bit later, because I'm gonna be honest, it is a disaster right now. Ever since my husband and I got back from the March for Life, I just feel like my entire routine has been completely thrown out the window. My prayer routine is gone. My workout routine has been gone for the last 8 months because I haven't had a gym in like 8 months. My sleep schedule is so jank, I cannot even begin to tell you guys how bad it is. Yeah. So the other night I was lying in my bed, as one does, staring into the abyss until 3 a.m. because I was so overstimulated from screens and having no set routine or times for anything that I was becoming sleep deprived and sluggish. I basically felt like a shell of myself. It was not great. I knew things needed to change. It was like now or never. So come with me as I talk about how I got my life back together and things that helped, things that didn't, how I failed, etc. Just come reset with me, okay? Come reset my life with me. Okay, but before I get into the days and walk you guys through this complete nightmare of a process, I'm not kidding, it literally felt like I was in a nightmare for a few days, I want to tell you guys about the goals that I have set so you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to accomplish here. So the first goal is no screens before bedtime, or if I do have to be on a screen because of a family emergency or because there's like a last minute something, I have to have on the blue filter, so like the blue light filter. Second, originally I was going to have my phone charging in a different part of the house than where I was sleeping, but then I realized because of family emergencies and everything like that, that I need to have the phone still in the room with me, so in case my mom calls or something, I'm able to pick up and answer right away. So I decided that the phone's still gonna stay in the room with me, but it's going to be like on the other side of the room where I can't just like yoink it in the middle of the night and decide to scroll through social media like a little zombie. The third goal I have for myself is to spend less than 90 minutes on social media. Now, some of you guys might be saying social media for 90 minutes, like that's a lot every single day. And I agree, it's kind of a lot, but the thing is you have to keep in mind that this is kind of like my job. So I have to be able to access social media. I have to be able to be on social media for at least an hour and a half. Either I'm working with someone on a project on social media, I need to be able to schedule posts, etc., or I'm live streaming. My live streams usually go for about an hour, which only gives me an extra half hour if I have to do anything else on social media. So just keep that in mind. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's not very Christian of you if you're judging me. La la la. Okay, and then the fourth thing is to get a gym membership. Now, the last 8 months I have basically had no workout routine whatsoever. All right, no workout routine, and we all know how devastating it is for my mental health when I do not work out. I've literally gone through this my entire channel, through my entire life. I've always had a gym, and the last 8 months I have not had access to a gym because my husband and I, we just couldn't really fit it in financially, and then we realized how much of a necessity it was, not just for me, but also for him, for our mental health, for our physical health. So we decided to work it into our budget recently, and so yeah, going to the gym, is really important. So priorities, people, priorities. With all of that out of the way, I think those are all the main ones I have for now, but as we talk, I might have others. We'll see. I don't know. First day was rough. I woke up, I did my normal morning routine, but I was constantly grabbing my phone just out of the habit. It was really, really annoying. I was determined to keep myself busy to avoid that, and since there is always something to do around the house, I decided to tackle our laundry from traveling, which we had a lot of, and my sweet husband helped me because we had mounds of laundry to go through. Basically, both of our entire wardrobes, to say the least. Like, it was insane. And that did actually end up taking a lot of time out of the day. And I don't mean like, oh, it took like 5 hours. No, but it did take up a good 2 or 3, which I consider to be a win. And at this point, I was just trying to distract myself from not going on my phone. So I was like, all right, what else can I do? So I decided to also clean our bathroom since we have painters coming to do the ceiling and to do the trim and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, might as well make it look all pretty for them, even though they're gonna plastic it off anyways, but like whatever. I will say that not scrolling through social media made me so much more productive and motivated to just do things. So that helped a ton. And I wasn't comparing myself to others. I wasn't becoming overstimulated. I was just kind of doing my little woman thing without really even thinking about what others were doing on social media. So I even actually got around to making my husband some waffles, which are one of his favorite foods, and he has been asking me for weeks to make waffles, but we didn't have a waffle iron that wasn't toxic, so I bought a cast iron waffle maker and finally got around to making him some waffles. The first one was deformed, to say the least.
You are deformed. I am deformed. And you are ugly. And I am ugly.
But the other ones that came after that, I think they turned out pretty well, so I was actually pretty impressed with them. I personally can't have them because they have dairy in them, but my husband did enjoy them, so yeah, that was great. I'll be honest, like I found just a lot more time for hobbies and things like that, stuff that I didn't have, or I felt like I should say I didn't have time for because I was wasting so much time on social media. And throughout the day, I constantly found myself itching to go on social media when there was like a lull in the day or it started getting a little bit slow. But the main thing that I realized is how addicted I was to stimulation and cortisol, which was kind of obvious based off of how I was sleeping for a while. I'm sleeping horribly. So that made sense to me, but I was just like, wow, I had no idea actually how bad it was until I had to just sit there and be quiet and silent. And I've talked about this with you guys, how important it is to find silence and times to just be with our thoughts and be with God and do those types of things. And I was struggling with it. And so I decided like enough is enough. Like I'm going to distract myself, figure it out. I'm going to get my life back in order. Unfortunately though, doing nothing wasn't really helping me. So I decided to try reading and to get back on track with my prayer routine. Now, my prayer routine was a little bit rocky, I'm gonna be honest, because I usually pray in the morning. You guys know my prayer routine. And then I do a little bit in the afternoon, and then my husband and I do night prayers later. But because my schedule is an absolute mess, I started trying to fit in my prayer routine when I just remembered to do it or when there was a slower part of the day. I'll be honest, I got bored pretty quickly with reading. The books I was reading were amazing, but unfortunately, because I'm addicted to overstimulation and things, it was very hard for me to stay focused. So I decided today would be the day to go get a gym membership, which gives me something physical to do to hopefully tire myself out enough to be able to focus better. And it worked. Sort of. And now I'm going to interrupt this amazing video you're watching to bring you our sponsor today, House of Joppa. One of the things that I have found on my spiritual journey is how much our surroundings impact our faith. Having reminders of Christ and the saints in my home keeps me focused on what truly matters, and that's why I love House of Joppa. They create the most beautiful Catholic home decor, jewelry, and gifts, pieces that just aren't decorations but reflections of our faith. I mean, look at this standing crucifix. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I do my examination of conscience in front of this crucifix. I do my daily rosary in front of this crucifix. Every time I see this crucifix, it reminds me to pray, to trust, and to keep Christ at the center of my life. They have gifts like this and more on their website. So if you're looking to make your home a place of beauty, faith, and reverence, check out House of Joppa. That's House of JOPPA.com, and surround yourself with beautiful Catholic items that lift your soul to heaven. Thank you so much to House of Joppa for sponsoring this video, and now back to that awesome video. I still slept pretty badly that night, I'm not gonna lie. And I woke up feeling pretty sluggish, and I just overall still felt like I was stuck in this cortisol loop and this overstimulation loop, and I didn't know really what to do about it. And I didn't really fall asleep until later in the evening, and that's the problem, right? It's like a reinforcing type of situation where it's like you go to bed later, you wake up later, and it just keeps going and going and going till you end up like me, can't fall asleep till 3 a.m., can't wake up until like 12 p.m. And that's just not good for us. So genuinely day one was very hard to detox from the overstimulation and from everything. Like, I just felt so bored all the time. Like, my brain was going a million miles per minute. Actually, it was really funny because when I had my phone away from me at night before I went to bed, I was just like laying in bed zoning out, and my husband, he was reading, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm playing the entire Shrek musical in my head because I don't know what else to do. Don't judge me. I told you guys not to do that, okay?" It's the only thing I had like downloaded into my brain. Taking up precious brain space is Shrek the musical. Okay, so day 2 was Sunday, and luckily I do usually take this day off from social media. Any posts that I have are usually scheduled. Most, if not all of them, are scheduled. The only time I do it is if I have a mess fit or something to show the girlies the fits. So I didn't really have to worry about trying to distract myself because I had plenty to do on Sunday. So my husband and I made breakfast, and then we talked over some coffee. I did my examination of conscience. I took my time getting ready. We went to mass, and then I actually got to meet some of you guys, which was absolutely amazing. I love being able to meet you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. And then after that, we went to my parents' house to hang out. It was Super Bowl Sunday, so we were a little unsure how the traffic would be getting to my parents' house, but turns out it actually wasn't that bad because by the time we got out of mass and we got there, it was already like late afternoon and everybody had already done their grocery shopping and we're already home anticipating the Super Bowl, so traffic ended up being fine. But yeah, we hung out with my parents. The rest of Sunday was kind of a blur, honestly. We left right around when the Super Bowl started because we just didn't want to deal with all the crazy drivers after the Super Bowl. So, and we're not really sports people. We don't care about sports all that much. So for us, it was like, whatever, like it is what it is, you know, kind of thing. But when we did get home, we did break our no screens before bed rule.
Right to jail, right away.
Because we watched this one YouTuber who I'm not going to say because I don't want to get bullied for it by you guys, but basically this one YouTuber, and we really like their videos, so we saw that they put out a new one, so we were like, oh my gosh, we should watch it because it was really interesting, blah, 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 blah. So we watched it. If you guys can guess which YouTuber it is below, I will like your comment, but I am not saying it, and I'm not giving you guys any hints. So therefore, this is basically like impossible. But if you dare, you can try the challenge. There's literally no reward for it for you. I can throw a cookie in your general direction if you want. Despite the fact that I did go to bed after watching a video, no blue light filter, whatever, I actually ended up sleeping okay. Like, not amazing, but I knocked out pretty fast. And okay, so by day 3, I will say this whole thing was getting a lot easier. I now had more of a routine down and I was able to follow it a lot better because my body was getting more used to it. So I did my normal morning routine. My morning prayer was still pretty shaky, I'm not gonna lie, but I was really trying. So you know what? You get points for trying. My husband and I made some delicious breakfast, and then I went to go get my hair cut because my ends started getting like really tangly and stuff, you know, where they get like super knotted and dry, and then brushing them out is just like ripping hair out of your skull, and it's just like not the vibe. So I decided to get a nice chop with my girl Annie. I've been going to her since 2021, I want to say, and I've never gotten a bad haircut from her. So yeah, day 3, pretty uneventful. We ended up taking a couple photos, which were really cool because they were kind of reminiscent of the early 2000s, which was really fun. But day 4, I caught a cold, so I didn't end up filming anything really because I was like, absolutely not, my health comes first. So I ended up backsliding into a lot of things because I felt like I couldn't do anything. So I watched a lot of YouTube. I tried to get work done from my phone, which didn't really end up working very well. And despite all of that, because my body was so exhausted from trying to fight this cold that literally lasted 1 day, might I add, that I just knocked out. I slept like a rock. I was like, I'm so tired. My body clearly just needed to chill out and just knock out, so I did that. And because my cold only lasted a day, by day 5, I was back on it. And let me tell you, some miracle happened on day 5 where like everything just clicked. I woke up, I went to daily mass, I came home, my husband and I ate breakfast and talked over coffee. We talk a lot, we're yappers, okay? We love talking to each other. We'll talk about anything and everything. Then we went to the gym for an hour, and then we came home and some people were renovating upstairs, so we had to go to the basement and just like kind of hang out down there. And then I started working, I had some phone calls, I had some business meetings, which are, you know, they are what they are. You know, they take up a lot of time, a lot of energy, but they're necessary. So, and then later my husband actually had his friend come over, his best friend, which was really, really fun. We love having him over. I think that was the first time we've had somebody over at the house since doing renovations. So it was just so nice to have somebody in the house again, because that wasn't like us. You know what I mean? I spent like no time on social media. The only time I did spend on social media was for work, which was not a whole lot, because I feel like even then when I use it for work, I'm not really on social media. I'm more or less on Canva, or I'm on a scheduling platform or something like that. It's very rare that I'm actually on the platforms, but sometimes I do need to be, you know? So I barely did any of that, which was really, really nice. And then I put my phone away an hour before bed. I prayed my rosary. I took a bath, and then I dimmed the lights. And when I tell you guys, I slept so well. I slept so well. I don't remember the last time I slept so deeply, felt so refreshed waking up. It was pretty amazing, not gonna lie. I guess overall, this whole experience of trying to get my life back on track, I filmed it so I would have some more accountability. My husband keeps me accountable really, really well, but I feel like actually documenting it and trying to help you guys who might be in a similar situation gives me extra motivation to not, fall back into it. And even if I do share that with you guys, so you don't feel bad if you guys slip a little bit too, because now my motivation is so much better. I feel more productive. My mental health has improved. And let me tell you, those first few days were the worst. Okay, absolutely hated them. So difficult, so hard to keep up and to stay on track. I felt like I just wanted to give in sometimes, and sometimes I did, because I am human. And when you have been on a routine for so long of going to bed really, really late, waking up really late, being on your phone, being overstimulated, etc., it's really hard to break those habits because your brain is used to that dopamine boost now. It's used to it. So for me, it took a couple days and those days sucked, like I said, to really detox. And I am not perfect, but then it all paid off, okay? Consistency is key. I found that when I didn't have my phone, I focused better. I was able to divide up my time more equally between work and homemaking. And I even found time to play some board games with my husband for fun, because we didn't really have anything else to do. So we were like, yeah, why don't we pull out freaking, I don't know, Sorry or something. I don't even remember the game we played. I think it's manga. That's not right. That's an anime, I think. I don't know. I don't know these things, okay? I just know words. But I guess the point of this video is me sharing with you guys that the choices we make every day truly matter in either building good habits that can put us on the path to sainthood or not. That doesn't mean you can't fail or mess up, but that's where perseverance kind of comes in, because that's the key. And pushing through difficult things, whether that's, again, a bad habit, a sin, a vice, whatever, consistency really is key. And pushing through that, it doesn't just build character, but it also helps you to build virtue and to accept the graces from God that He's giving you to overcome those things. So yeah, there you go. I don't really know how to end this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.